Good morning, everyone. It is a wonderful Wednesday. This is Miss Norman here, back again to talk about comparing numbers. So I figured we would start with a warm-up today that's going to look very similar to some of the problems we did on Monday. So we have the numbers 4 and 6, and we want to determine which number is greater and which number is less. So let's think about it in our head before we move any manipulatives. And let's think about if somebody was putting cookies in our hand. Would we rather them put 4 cookies in our hand or 6 cookies in our hand? The one that's more is normally the one we want more of, right? The one we like the most. So let's now put some pennies out and see if what we were visualizing in our head matches what's actually what the numbers actually look like. So let's start with the number 4. Let's move up 4 pennies. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now for the number 6, let's move up 6 pennies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, I can see visually that 6 pennies is more than 4 pennies. Is that what you were thinking in your head? Because I was thinking that I definitely would rather have 6 cookies than 4 cookies because 6 is greater than 4. So what we're going to do today is we're going to try and move away from using the manipulatives and look at a number line. So right here at the bottom, you can see our number line. And our number line goes from 0 to 10 because we're going to work within numbers to 10. And we know, because we've been talking about this all year, that 0 means nothing. If I have 0 cookies, that means I have no cookies. And we know what 10 looks like because we've practiced a lot with a 10 frame. So when we're looking at comparing numbers on a number line, we're thinking, is it closer to 0 or is it closer to 10? So we're going to use our little dots on our number line to help us visualize that. So we're going to use our purple dot for the 7 and our yellow dot for the 4. So our question asks us, which number is greater? So what we're going to do is we're going to take our purple dot and we're going to move it onto the 7. Right there onto the 7. So I see that 7 is really close to the 10 and it's kind of far away from the 0. So let's move our 4. I'm going to take my yellow dot and I'm going to put it on the 4. And I'm noticing that that yellow dot is a lot closer to 0 and further away from the 10. So which number is greater? Let's think about this. Which number is closer to 10? Hopefully you said that 7 is greater because if we see right here, 7 and 10 are really close. And we can see over here that our yellow dot is a lot further away from 10. So we know that 7 is greater than 4. Let's try another problem with our number line. It says, which number is greater, 2 or 6? So we're going to move that purple dot up and that yellow dot so we know which one we're going to do. So first let's put our 2 on there. What do you notice about where that 2 is on the number line? Is it closer to the 0 or closer to the 10? All right, now let's put our 6 dot on there. Let's move the yellow to the 6. What do you notice? Is the yellow dot closer to the 0 or closer to the 10? Hopefully you're noticing that that 2 is much closer to the 0 than the 6 is. So we would say that 6 is greater than 2. 2 is less than 10. So for the next couple days, what I would love to see you doing is creating your own number line. It can look just like the one down here on this page, and using the number line to help you decide whether or not a number is greater or less. You can also have those pennies or goldfish or cereal nearby to help you build the sets if you need to, but we want to try and start using that number line to see if it can help us. So for today's activity, you have 2 options. We have a really fun little activity with pumpkins. You'll see our number line at the very bottom, and it gives you 2 numbers. So this first one, it gives you 7 and 2, and you're supposed to compare and decide which one is greater or which one is less. It says look at each of the sets of pumpkins and color the pumpkin that is the bigger number. We know that's the word greater, orange, and we want to color the smaller pumpkin, the one that is less, green. So you can do it that way, or you could very easily just draw your own number line on a piece of paper and use it to compare those 2 numbers. And one idea I can give you, just like I used the yellow and purple dots to help me, you can have two different coins to help you so that you can put some coins on the number line to visualize it that way. So that is today's activity. Again, you can print and complete the page linked on the blog, or you can use a piece of paper and do it the exact same numbers on your own piece of paper. Tomorrow's activity for Thursday, I thought it would be fun to do a little bit of a game. All you need is a plastic bag. I used a sandwich bag in mine, and I used a marker to just make a line down the middle. I put 10 coins in my bag, and all you have to do is shake your bag and then lay it down flat on the table or on the floor and count how many coins are on each side. Using your piece of paper, you can write the numerals. So you can see I wrote my 6 and my 4, so I can practice looking at those numerals. And I can determine that 6 is greater than 4 and that 4 is less than 6. And sometimes if you're super lucky, you might get it to where those numbers are equal to one another. And then last, on Friday, I didn't include a slide for it, but on Friday you guys have the option to play War. So War is a really fun card game that I'm sure your parents know how to play, and if not, I've put the instructions in the blog. But you're looking at comparing the two cards, so you need a deck of cards. You can use Uno cards or regular cards. You can make your own cards. And what happens is you split the cards evenly among two people, and every time you put down, everyone puts down a card, and whoever has the greatest number gets to take all the cards, and your goal is to be the person who has all the cards at the end. So I hope everyone has had a fun week of learning and that you continue to work hard. Remember, if you have questions, feel free to email your teacher, or you can send her a dojo message for some clarification. Again, this is Miss Norman doing the video, so you can also find my email on the blog too if you would like to contact me. So I hope everyone has a great rest of your week learning, and I can't wait to see what great work you do.